While the Saints are in the midst of a playoff hunt, they host the Filipino national team for a quick exhibition game. Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Madrigal, joined by Stephen Hogenkamp. And Stephen will do a little bit of scoreboard watching, while here on Jackie Robinson Field, we're having some fun.
Yeah, this game just being an exhibition, not going towards that big playoff race standings. And as you said, scoreboard watching, that Riptide Oaks game started at 4:30 Pacific, so we'll be able to see that one end before ours. Saints really needing the Oaks to beat the Riptide in that game, could pull within a half game behind them with a Oaks win today.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Stephen. As it currently stands, the Saints are one game behind the Riptide, but if the score holds as the Riptide are ahead of the Oaks 7-3, the Saints will drop half a game. Well, we'll certainly be keeping you guys updated on that score while the Saints take on the Filipino national team. First pitch and lineups coming up, and you're listening to the Arroyo Seco Saints Media Network on YouTube. Just about set for action here in Jackie Robinson Field as Jacob Widener takes the bump for the Arroyo Seco Saints, Stephen.
Yeah, Widener's going to look to have a bounce-back game from his last appearance. They pitched against the Barons. Only lasted 1+ inning in that. Gave up 2 runs. It was the control issues walking 3, and it was coming off a really strong start in which he struck out 10 in 5 shutout innings against the Riptide. It's just going to all come down to that control. When he is throwing strikes at a high volume, he has a ton of success because he has almost unhittable stuff. In 8 innings he's pitched this season, still only given up 4 hits.
Yeah, it's just about his control it's all about the control with Jacob Widener, and he'll face the leadoff man, Thade Miller, who's starting in center field for the Filipino national team. We welcome all of those listening. Jacob Widener fires in a ball that misses low. Jacob Sanchez starting behind the plate for the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Giving Cooper Harris a day off. Saints also rocking the 4th of July hats. Like to see that. They also wore that in the CCL Showcase game.
Second fastball misses up and away.
Saints do got some new, different lineup than we're used to seeing. Both Kyson Donahue and Matt Wong taking the day off.
Good pitch from Widener is low and in for ball 3. So you mentioned it, and it's evident early on, Steven, the control has been an issue for Widener, not only today but throughout the entire season. Delayed call, but a strike. So we're on the count of 3-1.
Now, even though this game today is an exhibition, these players are all going to try to get better in their own way and improve in some part of their game.
The 3-1 pitch misses up and away, and Thade Miller has earned himself a leadoff walk. Following Miller will be Kyle Baraloo, and another Kyle in the 3-hole, Kyle Soberano, followed by Jose Mariano, who's playing first, Ryan Berry at short, Keola Vilorian in left field. AJ Parcero will be behind the plate catching, Mitch Kirk's DHing, and Timothy Campo Mez starting in right field to round out the lineup. And this team actually faced the Conejo Oaks, and they reigned victorious against Conejo. It's the first pitch to Kyle. Baraloo is in there for a strike.
Well, I've seen this home plate umpire very delayed in his strike calls, and in my opinion, I never really like that as a player. I like to keep the game moving, especially if you're a catcher and you're not facing the umpire. You don't know if it's going to be a strike or not because that call comes in so late.
The broken bat, little dribbler to the left side, picked up by Biagian, and it's not a hit. Excuse me, it's not picked up. It was rolled past, so a broken bat single follows up the walk. The Filipino national team, they have the first 2 batters reach safely.
A tough play right there for our team Biaggi, and that bat was coming right behind the ball. It was really close to it. His only play was to barehand that, and it was very tough right there. Would have been a tough play to get Baraloo running down the line.
That would have had to been barehanded and thrown a first in one fluid motion, which is evidently tough. That brings up the 3-hitter Kyle Soberano with Thade Miller at second and Baraloo at first. The fastball misses up and in.
A couple base runners on. Let's see how Widener can get out of this. He is facing the lefty, and Soberano
does have the platoon matchup, but he's fallen behind all 3 hitters so far. That one's fouled straight back.
Watching the Philippines national team take batting practice almost down the order, they did a really good job of hitting the ball the other way. They don't have as much power maybe as this Arroyo Seco Saints team, but they do a really good job using the entirety of the field.
The 1-1 delivery from Widener shows bunt. It's picked up by Jacob Sanchez. Toss over to first in time for the out. It's a successful sacrifice as Soberano moves over Miller and Baraloo.
Yeah, you said it. Really good job. The 3-hole putting down a sac bunt. Don't see that too often. Trying to manufacture a run early on. Now the Philippines have runners in scoring position with less than 2 outs, and the Saints defense playing back. Ground ball up the middle would work.
So it's Jose Mariano with runners in second and third and only one out. Widener falls behind yet again.
You know, something that makes Widener's stuff so good when he's throwing strikes is we haven't even seen what I think is his best pitch, being that slider curve. He says it's a curve. It looks like it has more action, similar to a slider, but that off-speed pitch for Widener is really effective.
Pitch misses. 2 balls and no strikes to Jose Mariano, the first baseman. Mariano is a righty. As you mentioned, Steve, in the infield playing back. Big cut and a miss. Relatively decent-sized crowd here at Jackie Robinson Field. Coming out to support both teams. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Grooved in there for a strike to even the count at 2-2. Another delayed call.
Yeah, those delayed calls really throws off the tempo, especially for pitchers and catchers too. You know,
Right.
Catchers, if they know it's a strike or, you know, umps are calling it right away, they get that ball back quickly to the pitcher. The pitcher gets set on the mound, throws off the entire tempo.
It's a 2-2. A little dribbler to the left side. It's going to be a tough play for Marlowe. Picks it up, fires over to first in time for the out. What a great play by Marlowe, but a run does come in to score. It's the first run of the ball game. The Filipino national team is up 1-0 early.
Yeah, it was a really good play from Marlowe. Even though the run scores, really good job on Marlowe limiting it. Only letting that one run get across, and really strong throw on the run. Widener just out away, limited damage, only one. You know, at the end of the day, this game is an exhibition, but like I said, these teams or these players want to improve their game.
Right. Not only improvement, but also baseball is a game of routines. You want to stay in a groove. You want to stay hot. And I think that's exactly why we're going to see Drew Cali playing for the Saints, who has just been so hot, as there's a little flare, but it'll be caught by Biaggi and over at shortstop. But not before the Filipino national team gets one run across. We head to the bottom of the first with the Filipino national team up 1-0. We welcome you back to Jackie Robinson Field, as here's the Arroyo Seco Saints lineup. It'll be Dylan Johnson leading off, playing in center. He's finally back in the lineup, followed by big man Peyton Holt at second base and Drew Cali DHing. Matt Marlowe at third, Jared Mohonda in left, and Max Blessinger starting in right field, followed by Jacob Sanchez, who's doing the catching today. Jake Fredrickson, a new face in the Arroyo Seco Saints lineup. He'll play first base and bat eighth, and Arten Biagian starting at shortstop in the 9-hole, and they'll face Jaden Raineri. Attacking the first pitch is Dylan Johnson. He fouls it right back. And what do you expect from this Arroyo Seco Saints lineup, Steven, given that it's not the typical and usual lineup we see on a day-to-day basis?
Well, I mean, it starts with the leadoff hitter and Dylan Johnson back in this lineup. You know, he was slated to come back last week. He was a late scratch. And he's someone these Saints are really missing, not just as a defender, but at the plate. He has a .333 average, which, if he's qualified, it's the highest on the Saints. Also, that speed element. But then, you know, at the bottom of the order, first time we're seeing Jake Fredrickson, you know, Fred. He has his nickname. Still don't really know where that came from, but, you know, we'll work with that. But
well, I think it derives from the Fredrickson, Fred.
Yeah, I didn't think about that one, but excited to see him play.
Yeah, he played a few years at Occidental College. He's a grad student at the University of San Francisco studying sports management. As Dylan Johnson is in a 1-2 count.
Yeah, but DJ's going to be someone who is really going to take this game really, really seriously. He's trying to get back into that groove as the Saints are pushing for a playoff spot.
Pitch is left upstairs to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dylan Johnson fell behind in the count 0-2, has now worked it even. That one slapped to the right side and gets past the first baseman Mariano. So Dylan Johnson rounding first, and he'll take a big lead, but stay put. A leadoff single for Dylan Johnson, and he's got to love that.
A really good swing right there. Good attempt by Mariano, but really good job in right field by Timothy Campomizzi out there, getting that ball in quick. We know the speed of Dylan Johnson. In my opinion, I think he's the fastest on this team. They hold him just to a single, but now Quadzilla, the quad father, Peyton Holt up.
Absolutely, it'll be Peyton Holt. Of course, Stamos gave him that nickname, the quad father. You can also follow some of our media on social media or TikTok at Arroyo Seco Saints. Peyton Holt shows bunt, pulls it back. You'll see some of the players mic'd up, some of the better personalities on this team. Christopher Stamos, Cooper Harris. I believe they got Max Blessinger recently.
I think my favorite TikTok that our media team has done, it definitely has to be when Spencer Sid walking around asking which Saint would they least like to date their daughter. It was Jacob Widener across the board.
The overwhelming majority.
Jacob Widener fit in Jacob Sanchez.
Yeah. Jacob Sanchez will see him get the start behind the plate today. He'll also be batting 7th in the lineup. It's a 1-0. It's high and tight to make it 2-0.
Neri really does a good job hiding that ball. Peyton Holt, really a late reaction to that.
Holt takes, and it's another ball, so 3 straight balls from Jaden Raineri.
Yeah, we saw after the second pitch, he was receiving the ball coming back to him. Raineri showed that sun is beginning to bother him a little bit.
Holt was taking all the way. Raineri pours in a strike to make the count 3 balls and 1 strike. Left upstairs. So similar to the Filipino national team, the Saints have the 2 first batters reach safely.
Yeah, and if you're the Philippine national team, you don't really want that to happen with Drew Cali coming up, the hottest hitter on this Saints squad.
Not only on the Saints squad, but in all the CCL. We kept mentioning how we were just waiting for Drew Cali to break out. We knew that he could do it. Cleanup hitter at Oregon, and here he is doing it when the Saints need it most. In the midst of a playoff push, off-speed pitch taken by Drew Cali, and it's a strike.
When playing the game of baseball, there are times when that ball is really just a beach ball to a hitter, and that's what Drew Cali's seen right now. Everything he's putting in play is of a high exit velocity.
It's been on fire. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast that's likely why he's slotted in today, especially as a DH. Don't want to risk injury playing the field, especially one of your hottest hitters, but you want to maintain that as it's shot the other way off of Baraloo. Baraloo has no play. He'll have to eat it. That ball was shot, so we'll see how that's ruled.
At the minimum, Baraloo did a good job keeping that one in front. Looks like they're going to rule that an error. You know, it was similar to last night. Matt Wong had a ringing ball to the third baseman that initially was ruled an error, which I thought was the wrong call, and then they changed it back to a hit.
Yeah, after Matt Wong came up to and advocated for himself for it to be changed to a hit. Nonetheless, bases are loaded for Matt Marlowe, who leaves the first pitch fastball upstairs for ball one.
Yeah, what Ranieri's been missing this inning, it's been high and into righties. That right arm lagging behind. That motion of his is a little too quick.
Well, infield in, and that ball is shot right up the middle. It'll get into the outfield. Everybody moves station to station, and the Saints in a hurry tie this ball game up 1-1.
A really good swing right there from Matt Marlowe. Got the pitch he was looking for, that heater. That's, you know, someone we've been mentioning that Saints really want him to get hot if they have a chance to go to San Luis Obispo for the state championship. He's a great defender in the field. That's why they like to keep him on and in the lineup. But if he could get that back going, he is going to be someone that will be really important for the Saints in the playoffs. First pitch in there, called strike.
This is Jared Mohonda, who got his first hit yesterday. It was a double to left center field.
Mohonda picked up his first hit in a Saints uniform. Already has 3 RBI on the season as well.
Been producing in these exact situations. Bases loaded. A 1-2 count to Jared Mohonda.
Very old school without the batting gloves. Especially with the wood bat, and looks like no tape on the bat as well.
Is that shot into left field, and it'll get down. 1 run comes in. Cali rounding third. He'll head home, and he comes in to score. So a 2 RBI single for Jared Mohonda.
That's where the weightlifting comes in handy right there. Didn't get the contact he wanted, but was able to muscle it into left field for that hit. Saints answer the Philippine national team with 3 of their own runs. Still no one out this inning.
A 1-0 count. Runners on first and second for the Arroyo Seco Saints. As it comes up is Matt Blessinger. Max has been heating up in recent games. He was named the player of the game last night.
Does he win a round on that one, maybe?
Yes, I believe they appealed. So the count is now 1-1.
And I really like, ever since head coach Aaron Milan moved Max Blessinger to center field. really covers a lot of ground. And with the short center field here, Jackie Robinson makes it that much more important.
There's a strike to make the count of 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Ranieri's next pitch is going to be his 22nd of the inning, yet to record an out. 6th batter up.
Off speed driven into left field, but it'll hook foul.
Yeah, Bless got out in front of that one, just too much out in front where it hooked. That's how you know in baseball if hitters really square something up, if they pull it, if it hooks. They would go down their pull side line. If it hooks, that means they're out in front, and as opposed to going the other way, if it slices the other way, they were a little late.
He was late on that one. It's a shot into right field, but foul. Max Blessinger working a good at bat. Guy looking to transfer out of PCC, has a few programs looking at him.
And these last 2 pitches, he's way out in front of the off speed, but pretty late on the heater. For Jaden Ranieri, it's, what do you go with here? Go with that slider, you go back to the fastball.
It is a fastball. Blessinger shoots it into right field. Or no, excuse me, it'll be gloved by Mariano. The step on first, but the runners advance to second and third. And that's the first out of the inning, Steven.
A weird reaction, however, at first base. Jose Mariano, looks like he had a chance to get Mohonda out at second, but he didn't even hesitate. He went right over to first to get the for sure out.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. I thought the ball got into right field. Mariano didn't even attempt to throw it to second, ended up stepping on the bag himself with 3 unassisted in the books. Here's Jacob Sanchez. Fastball poured in there. Strike 1.
Sanchez is coming back down to earth a little after his torrid streak.
Ooh. It nearly catches Jacob Sanchez. One ball, 1 strike. Big cut and a miss by Jacob. Runners on second and third. It's Matt Marlowe at third, Mohonda at second. Broken bat caught at second by Soberano. That's the second out of the inning, and the runners stay put. So it'll be Jake Fredrickson coming up for his first at-bat of the season.
Very interesting walk-up song, going with Big Time Rush. A little throwback right here. What Jake said, the 2 things he wants to accomplish today, timing up the fastball and not getting injured. He works just as hard as anyone on this field.
Coming up in an RBI situation, takes the first pitch fastball for a strike.
2 sport athlete accidental, baseball and water polo. Water polo really helps in baseball with that upper body strength.
Off-speed pitch, Fredrickson takes for strike 2. Disagrees with the call. He's in an 0-2 hole.
Doesn't want to leave these runners on the board. He wants to provide for his squad here.
Makes contact with the fastball and fouls it off to the right side.
You know that dugout is absolutely going to explode if he can produce here. And as the season winds down, these players are going to have to say goodbye to each other. It's been a long 2 months together.
Takes fastball upstairs.
He's rocking the sunglasses while hitting. You don't really normally see that, especially with the sun behind him.
Off speed just gets a piece and fouls it off straight back.
Yeah, he looked fooled on that one. Just was able to catch a piece of that ball, but that's all you really need to stay alive. We mentioned time in and time again on broadcast, baseball a game of inches. He's an inch away from striking out right there.
Fouled off to extend the at-bat.
If safely retrievable, please return all fouled balls.
So he's getting that timing a little better on the fastball right there. That was his best hack of the at-bat.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners on second and third. With 2 outs in the first. Another 1-2 pitch, clips him. He takes one for the team. Then he gets on base on a hit by pitch.
Yeah, you love to see those 2-strike hit by pitches. Taking one for the team right there. Got a smile over there at first. Now bases loaded. 9th batter of the inning here for the Saints with Artin Biaggian now. Even though the Saints have already gotten 3 across this inning, you don't want to leave these 3 runners on.
Bases loaded for Artin Biaggian. First pitch misses, ball 1.
.429 average on the season. Got 3 hits and just 7 at-bats, but he has scored every time he's gotten on base.
This is the 9th hitter to come up for the Saints in the first inning.
Biaggian was a late addition to the Saints.
Takes a pitch upstairs.
Next pitch for Ranieri is going to be his 39th.
Biaggian was unsure as to whether he should swing or not. Ends up getting a piece of it. It's evenly counted 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. And the base is loaded for the Saints. 3 runs have already come across.
The full count here. All runners will be on the move. Base hit in the gap could score all of them.
Here's a payoff pitch as the runners take off. Biaggian is fooled. And on a half-hearted swing, he strikes out. But 3 runs come across for the Arroyo Seco Saints as they lead 3-1. You're listening to the Arroyo Seco Saints Media Network on YouTube.
3 runs, 3 hits, and 3 runners left on through 9.
Jacob Widener in for another inning of work after 1 run came across the score for the Philippines national team in the top of the first inning, but the Saints countered the few runs of their own.
And now Jacob Widener with a lead to pitch with here. You really want to stress the importance of attacking hitters. Don't want to give free base paths when you're winning.
Ball 1, and Keola Viloria, excuse me. Fastball in there for strike one. Even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, Widener really settled down after that leadoff walk. Did the changeup right there.
That pitch was working for him in his best outing of the summer against the Orange County Riptide in Irvine, California. So here's a 2-1 to Viloria. Pitch misses low and in for ball 3.
You could see from Jacob Widener lots of herky-jerky movement on the mound. He's a big guy, standing about 6'7", 6'8", taller than anyone on this Philippine national team roster. That ball's getting to you really quick with those long strides, but he's had trouble locating in the zone this season.
The count is now full. As Widener set below the belt, and here's the payoff. He misses. So a leadoff walk for Keola Viloria.
31, AJ Parcero.
AJ Parcero is coming to the dish, the catcher for the Filipino national team.
It's not how you want to start an inning, especially after your team took the lead. It's known as the shutdown inning after your team takes a lead or ties it. If you could throw up a 0, it's very important.
Runner goes. Jacob Sanchez does not throw it down, so a walk and now a stolen base for Viloria.
Yeah, Viloria was off first movement there. Widener not the quickest to the plate, but he has that luxury because he is a lefty. But you know, good runners are taught to take off first movement, even if it's against the lefty. And if they pick off to you, try to beat the throw to second.
It looks like Widener's having some success in that inside corner to righties, or at least he's getting the call on that part of the plate.
Yeah, it looked like Jacob Sanchez was setting up away, and even though he caught it to his left, the way he caught it may have looked like a ball, but it still crossed the plate right there.
Good call by the home plate umpire. Here's the 0-2 to Parcero. It's an off-speed pitch. So Parcero is retired on 3 pitches. A nasty pitch, the best pitch of the afternoon from Jacob Widener.
Yeah, it's the first curveball we've seen from him, and like you said, absolutely fooled Parcero right there. He was sitting dead red heat. We've seen him play with the changeup a little bit. I haven't seen the off-speed from it, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
So 1 away in the top of the 2nd inning. As Mitch Kurtz is at the dish, the number 8 hitter. One ball, no strikes to Mitch. Viloria jumping out off of second base as Mitch cuts on and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on second base. As the Saints are on top of the Filipino national team, 3-1. Completely fooled by the breaking ball. Strike 2.
Yeah, I think you're going to start to see Jacob Widener utilize that curveball more. Lots of lefties up and down this Philippines national team. Their lineup today, and if he's, the 2 we've thrown have been perfectly executed, you're going to see him throw it a lot more.
Another breaking ball, but Mitch gets a piece of it and hits the light pole. When Widener was on in Irvine, California, it was that breaking ball that was working. His breaking pitches were really complementing his fastball. We'll see what he can do here. And here's a 1-2 delivery. Another off-speed, and it's a dribbler back to Widener. He picks it up, fields it, throws over to first for the 2nd out of the inning.
That's really good to see from Widener. Remembering back to his last start against the Barons, had a couple errors of his own, one on a pickoff and one on one of those PFPs right there. He's had trouble this season fielding his position. That's good to see right there. You know, going back to that start where he really pitched well against the OC Riptide, first couple innings he struggled a little bit, but then his last 3 sent down the last 9 batters he faced.
Number 9 hitter attacks the first pitch, shoots it into right field. Blessinger catches it on the run to end the inning. Blessinger, one of the premier fielders on this Saints team. So a clean inning work by Jacob Widener as the Saints maintain the lead 3-1. You're listening to the Arroyo Seco Saints Media Network on YouTube. A great crowd on hand here at Jackie Robinson Field as the Arroyo Seco Saints are taking on the Filipino national team, and the Saints are ahead of the Philippines by a score of 3-1, and it'll be the top of the order for the Saints. It's only the second inning as Dylan Johnson steps up to the plate, and in the first inning, Jaden Raineri threw 41 pitches, Steven.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back after that long first inning, especially after Jacob Weiner had a decently quick second inning, so didn't get much time to rest on the bench. He's going to have to face the top of the order once again.
Yeah, Jacob Widener threw well in the top half of the second. Second pitch to Dylan Johnson is shot to the left side, and it's off the glove of Barry, who picks it up and has no play at first, so that'll go in the scorebook as an E6. And Dylan Johnson is on for the second time today.
Yeah, what speed does is, Ryan Barry over there at shortstop, he bobbles out whatsoever, and Dylan Johnson is probably safe even though he hit it that hard. So it puts a lot of pressure on the defense. That ball is absolutely shot, but it will be ruled an error. It was a playable ball over there for Ryan Barry.
It is already the second error committed by the Filipino national team. Now Peyton Holt comes up to bat. He earned a walk back in the first inning, just last inning. He takes ball 1, and Dylan Johnson is on first base, and he's hopping over there a little bit, Steven.
Yeah, we saw them do that a lot, especially against the Foresters. Really got that timing down. When the Saints are on, they are very aggressive. When they're playing their best baseball, it's when they're aggressive on the base paths and being successful doing it. It could be that aggressive mentality that can run you out of innings. But the Saints, overall as a team, very smart baseball runners.
2 balls, no strikes, runner on first. Holt attacks the third pitch of the at-bat and skies it foul.
And a little late on that elevated heater right there. Renario was trying to locate that all last inning, but couldn't get the right part of the zone. It really sets up his slider. Pitch that starts on the same plane as that fastball, but then finishes very low.
Runner's going. It's an off-speed pitch to throw down to second. Not in time. Dylan Johnson has himself a stolen base. It's a very close play.
Yeah, perfect throw from A.J. Pacero. It was right to the bag. That throw really led second baseman to tag out Johnson, but Johnson just a little too fast, just showing that incredible speed.
Johnson's speed all on display in this inning. He's able to leg out an infield Shot that got off the glove of Barry. Held straight back by Holt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 3 balls and 2 strikes, actually.
A little better timing on that fastball right there. I bet Ranieri's going to see that, and even though he's had a little trouble locating the off speed, I think he goes back to it here, full count.
The payoff pitch from Ranieri is skied into right field. Campomozzi will make the catch in foul territory. Tagging is Dylan Johnson as the throw is offline. So it's a productive out, and Johnson's going to break for home as the ball got away, and he will score.
DJ scores for the
It's a
Saints.
sloppy play early on for the Philippines national team right here. Campomozzi really got that one in quick, but a little offline, and over there at third, Barilu just misplayed the bounce. It took his eyes off the ball going into his glove, and because of that, Dylan Johnson's able to walk home.
Yeah, that'll likely be an error on the third baseman, Barilu, who was unable to field the throw. It was a strong throw, one hopper that got away from him. Allowed Dylan Johnson to score as it's now Drew Cali.
How did Dylan Johnson get on base?
Already the third error of the evening for the Philippines national team.
Oh, duh. Yeah, thanks.
Pitch left upstairs for ball 1.
No, I thought you were talking about the error on the last play. Oh, no.
1 ball, no strikes as it's Drew Cali. One of the hottest baseball players in the CCL. Looking to continue that stretch. He reached on an error back in the first. It was a hard hit ball to Barilu, who was unable to field it. 2-0s left outside, 3-0. The Saints leading early on, 4-1. That ball is smoked into right center field. Going back on it is Miller, and it is gone off the tree. So a solo shot for Drew Cali, who had a 3-0 green light. And it's now 5-1 in favor of the Arroyo Seco Saints.
You'll love to see those 3-0 green light. Drew Cali continuing his hot streak. We've seen over these last few weeks in batting practice, his swings have gone a lot better. The ball's traveling really hard off of his bat. Even though he reached on an error his first at bat, it was still a smoked ball, and that one absolutely crushed into center field, no doubt about it.
The Saints jumping all over the Filipino national team early on. It's 5-1. That brings up Matt Marlowe. Off speed, he clips Marlowe on the first pitch. So he'll reach for the second time today.
We have Jared Buhonda, another opportunity. Picked up another hit.
Okay, walk up top. I gotta dig this.
His first at bat last inning, and the Saints really getting to Jaden Ranieri early on this game. Already thrown 53 pitches in an inning and a third.
Jared Buhonda singled in the first inning, as this is the 5th batter up for the Saints. 9 came up in the first, 5 here in the second so far with only 1 out and a runner on first. 2 runs have already come across here in the second inning. Fastball misses in. So 2-0. Dylan Johnson reached on an E6. Stole second base and came around to score off of an E5 after pop up into right field got away from Barilu. And then Drew Cali subsequently homered. Matt Marlowe reached on a hit by pitch as that ball shot into left field and down. Buhonda's 2 for 2 with 2 singles.
He's done a really good job this season going the other way. His first hit last night was a liner into left field. That one almost identical to his hack last night. They could get Mohonda hot. He's just another guy they can utilize if they can push their way into the playoffs. And, you know, that outfield depth is getting really tough, especially now with the return of Dylan Johnson and also with Jack Walker, who, when he's had the opportunity, has really played well this season.
Yeah, Walker has certainly produced, and another guy who's heating up and happens to play in the outfield is Max Blessinger. Big swing and a miss. And just to go back to Mohonda for a second, we spoke to him after the ball game, and he said, finally I got a hit. He finally broke through, and he said, of course, it was on like what seemed to be a routine pop-up. Center fielder just couldn't glove it. And, man.
Now 14 at-bats. It took him to get that first hit.
Runners are off. The throw goes to second, and it is not in time as the ball popped off of the shortstop's glove. Barry, a run comes in to score, and just sloppy defense for this Filipino national team, allowing the Saints to capitalize on all aspects of the ball game.
Yeah, for sure. Another routine one over there. If second baseman Soberano can glove that, Mohonda is easily out, but because it got away, Matt Marlowe's able to come home.
Yeah, it looked like the ball beat Mohonda to the bag. It's just the tag wasn't applied, and it squirted out of the glove as Max Blessinger shoots it the other way. Going back on it is Campo Mizzi, who makes the catch. Tagging is Mohonda, and he'll make it to third safely.
Productive out nonetheless for Max Blessinger. Hit that ball well. You know, if the Saints want a chance at gunning for that state championship, they're going to need number 4, Max Blessinger, to heat up, get back to where he was in the first 25-plus games of the season. Went on that really cold streak, starting to find his swing more. And, you know, they keep him in the field because he just, like you said, one of the elite defenders on this Arroyo Seco Saints roster.
Off-speed pitch is shot into left field by Sanchez, and it falls in front of the left fielder, Valoria. So that allows another run to score. It's Jared Mohonda. It's now 7-1 in favor of the Saints.
First pitch swinging right there for Jacob Sanchez. Really liked the decision. It was a little out in front of Ranieri's off-speed pitch, but got enough to flip it on out there, but not enough for their left fielder make the grab. And now one of the premier hitters of this Saints squad.
Barry Bonds comp, MLB. Is Jake Fredrickson. Takes first pitch strike. Able to reach on a hit by pitch, right? Similar to Barry, didn't really need to get a hit to get on base, just how respected he is in the league.
Yeah, just very feared at the dish is Jake Fredrickson.
Big swing and a miss, very rare. Swing and a miss by Jake Fredrickson.
Yeah, a little late on that heater. Ranieri started him off the first 2 pitches the same way, off-speed, then the fastball. He went to the off-speed last time.
That ball shot up the middle and through. So Jake Fredrickson has reached both times. He's been at the dish, and he's 1 for 1. Keeps the line moving.
Dugout waving to get that ball in the dugout. First hit of the season for Jake Fredrickson right there.
Shot it
Great
up the
piece
middle.
of hitting.
Cold Stone face.
Looks like Chris Stamos in there. He's really pleading for that ball.
So
That
is Cooper
entire
Harris.
squad really loves Jake.
Looks like meeting on the mound. There's been a lot of pitches expended by the starter, Jaden Ranieri.
Already 63, and looks like his night is over.
So Jaden Ranieri will come out, and when we come back, the Arroyo Seco Saints threatening with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. You're listening to the Arroyo Seco Saints Media Network on YouTube.
Attention California Collegiate League fans, the 2022 CCL State Championship presented by Firestone Walker Brewing Company is coming to California's Central Coast. The state championship will be hosted in San Luis Obispo, California at Sinchimur Park, August 4 through 6. Tickets are available online and at the gate. For more information, visit calsummerball.com. And be sure to follow all of the CCL State Championship action on social media using the hashtag CCLBaseball. Back to the action, Ryan.
Well, the Saints are gunning for a playoff spot. As Steven mentioned, the playoffs will take place in San Luis Obispo, as the Oaks are currently losing to the Riptide 10-3, which obviously does not bode well for the Saints' playoff hopes, as they are currently a game back, but if that scoreline holds, it'll move to a game and a half.
Yeah, the Saints just played the Oaks last night, but they are big Oaks fans today.
Runner on the move, and he'll make it safely. Looks like that was Jacob Sanchez swiping third. Jake Fredrickson did not advance to second, but we don't need him to when he hits like he does.
We know what he brings to the table, Ryan.
It's all hitting, all power. And there he takes off, and he's in there safely. He's defying the odds, so Jake Fredrickson all over the score sheet so far. A hit by pitch, a single, and now a stolen base. And as is common around these parts in Pasadena, California, Jake already gunning for that player of the game, and it's only the second inning, Steven.
Yeah, for sure. He's really putting up some early numbers here for the Arroyo Seco Saints.
As Arden Biagian takes a strike one, 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know, what I really liked from the Saints, I saw it earlier on. Jacob Sanchez stealing first pitch right there. You know, the base runners, when a new pitcher comes in, the hitter gets their timing down. The runners are getting their timing down on how long they hold, per se. You know, they are assuming that Francis Gazmundo is going to not really check on them on base. You know, first pitch he's coming in, and Sanchez really timed it up well.
Yeah, Gazmundo, the new arm in for the Filipino national team. As Biagian takes ball 4. So bases are loaded yet again, and Dylan Johnson's coming up for the 3rd time. It's only the 2nd inning.
Yeah, both times 9+ batters have come up in the inning for the Saints. Still only have put up, they're at 7 runs right now. They really get ugly here. DJ as that. Walk-up song got to be my favorite walk-up song, I think.
Just fits so well as Dylan Johnson was trying to do what Drew Cali did and hit that one out of the park. But it's strike 1. The bases loaded for the Saints. Dylan Johnson, 1 for 2 today, reaching a single in the first and a knee 6 earlier this inning.
And scored off an error as well.
That ball's in the dirt, actually hits the home plate umpire. So the runners will stay put. Catcher Parcero. As I think that was Stamos in the dugout saying, way to be a wall back there, Blue. Obviously referencing the ball hitting the home plate umpire.
Yeah, this Saints dugout is truly unique here. You know, they have a really good time, as it looks like Gavino Rosales is up right now for the Saints.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, and the base is juiced for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Dylan Johnson waits on it and shoots it into right field, and it'll get down. 1 run comes in. Sanchez scores easily. Jake Fredrickson comes in, and now it's a base-clearing double for Dylan Johnson.
A really good piece right there from DJ. Looks like in center field and right center, actually, center fielder Thade Miller had a trouble getting that one cleanly, allowing Biagian to score all the way from first. Saints piling on here, now up 10-1.
Up 10-1, and now it's Peyton Holt coming up for the 3rd time. He actually recorded the first out, or he was the first out of the 2nd inning. Inning we're still in.
You never want to get multiple outs in an inning. Never want to be that last out.
Off speed ends up clipping Peyton Holt. The runners on 1st and 2nd. And now it's Drew Cali who homered earlier in the inning.
Drew looking to do some more damage, pick up a couple more RBI. You know, even though we said this is an exhibition game, it's games like these could can really get a team going. Now Saints, there's 3 games left after this. 2 against the Oaks, 1 against MLB Academy Barons.
One against the Oaks. Yeah, we play the Blues. No, that's Cap.
I thought we played the Oaks on Sunday.
No, we play the Blues.
1 ball, no strikes. Big cut and a miss from Drew Cali to even the count at 1-1. So 2 away, 2 on. Saints already on top. The Filipino national team 10-1. That ball is lifted into left field. Going back on it is Valoria. And he'll make the catch to end the inning. At deep left field wall, keeping that ball in there. Cali would have had his 2nd home run of the inning.
Inning number 2.
It looks like
The Arroyo Seco Saints.
somebody's hobbling. Get on that immediately, but nonetheless, 10-1 in favor of the Arroyo Seco Saints. You're listening to the Arroyo Seco Saints Media Network on YouTube.
Through 12.
Top of the order for the Filipino national team. It's Thade Miller and Jacob Widener working in his 3rd inning of work. And Steven, he's looked good so far.
Yeah, for sure. That 2nd inning was a real strong game for him, throwing up a 0.
That ball is laced into right center field. It'll get down over there as Max Blessinger picking it up. Miller on his way to 2nd, and he's in there safely. So a good start to the inning for the Filipino national team. They look to chip away at this lead.
Miller was hunting first pitch fastball right there, and he got it, shot it out into the gap for a double. And you're mentioning at the end between innings that Dylan Johnson was hobbling off the field a little bit. He's out there still in center field, so it's really good news. The Saints really want to keep him on the field. Such a valuable player to this Saints team.
Kyle Barrylou now at the dish. He attacks the first pitch as well, but this time it's fouled off.
Through these first 2 pitches, an obvious approach right now for the Philippines national team.
Looking to hunt first pitch fastball. Pay dividends for Thade Miller.
And they don't want to get into a count where Jacob Widener can utilize that curveball, that changeup.
There's the changeup for strike 2.
It's not a spot you want to miss, though, on that changeup. That one over the heart of the plate. Changeups normally run arm side, and if you're Widener, you want to start that on the outside corner and have it fade off the plate. That one faded right down the middle. Luckily, Kyle Barrylou not looking for that.
The 0-2 delivery from Widener is also shot into right center field, and it gets down, so Miller had to wait for it to get down. He'll stop at 3rd, but the Philippines have the runners cornered with no outs in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, luckily for the Saints, Thade Miller got a poor read on that one. Didn't see where the defenders were. The outfield was set up. Widener not a good spot there. Ahead in the count 0-2. Caught a lot of the plate.
Runners on first and third. No outs. Widener checks on the runner at first and throws it away. So that'll allow a run to score for the Philippines as the ball gets out of play. Runners only advance one station. So it's now 10-2, and the Philippines have a runner on second with no outs.
Yeah, we mentioned Widener had trouble throwing over to first or just feeling his position. We saw him make a play back in the second inning, but right there, unable to.
-$5.
Pitch left upstairs to Kyle Soberano, the number 3 hitter. Runner goes. Jacob Sanchez throws over to third. It's not in time. So the Filipino national team pushing the action here in the third inning, and it's paying dividends.
Yeah, they really have got the read on Widener. We saw Kiola Viloria last inning get a quick read off him, and right there, Baraloo got a good jump. So Widener's going to have to mix with his timing, his holds, his looks if he wants to hold runners on better.
2-0. High and away, ball 3.
We saw for picture day earlier this week, Jacob Widener played with that, the mustache shaved the bottom of his beard off, had like a handlebar mustache look going.
He's looking great. It's the Saints Media Day not too long ago as Widener pours in a strike.
Now we saw, what came to mind was Jack Walker. I first saw him without the facial hair. I couldn't recognize him at first.
Yeah, a lot of the guys actually shave their facial hair for Media Day. Here's the 3-1. It's popped up and out of play to run the count full.
Harold Boyce, even though he cut his hair a little before Media Day, I did not recognize him at first. I remember a couple weeks ago that they were talking about, what great flow is, a little mullet going on, but shave that off, and he looks like a completely different guy.
Yeah, I did not recognize him as the off-speed pitch gets Soberano swinging. It's a drop third strike. Sanchez throws over to first to complete the out. But yeah, I had no idea who that was until you pointed it out to me actually earlier today. That's Harold Boyce.
Yeah, I was thinking, did we get a new player? Someone added on, and I saw the number. I was like, oh, that's Harold Boyce right there. His mustache still very recognizable, but without that hair.
That brings up the cleanup hitter Jose Mariano with the runner on third, and the Saints in the lead 10-2. First pitch fastball misses.
Widener's fastball's been missing up this inning so far. Maybe some fatigue setting in. Even though he's only at 41 pitches right now, he's had long breaks in the dugout between innings.
Challenge pitch, but Jose Mariano chases to help out Widener to even the count at 1-1 strike. Saints in the lead 10-2. The Philippines have a runner on third and only one out.
Mariano had that slow roller over to Matt Marlowe at third, who made an outstanding play his last at-bat.
Off-speed pitch, it's another slow roller. Sanchez picks it up, tosses over to first for the second out.
Sanchez really got to be careful there. He did not peek over to third for Baraloo, who was a little farther off the base than he was on the strikeout. He really got away with that. That just shows that he was trying to hurry that up. Didn't know that he had a little more time to make that throw. Could have taken a little peek over, because Baraloo, if this wasn't an 8-run deficit for the Philippine national team, I would think that he would try to steal that one.
And that pitch gets away, so Baraloo will score nonetheless. That'll be ruled a wild pitch.
Wild pitch, Kyle Baraloo scoring for Team Philippines.
So 2 runs across for the Philippines in this inning. Now 10-3. Now bases empty. Ryan Berry in a 1-0 count. Barry, half-hearted swing, but the ball finds the bat. It's fouled back.
You know, going back to that wild pitch, you know, some of it may be due to Sanchez hasn't caught Jacob Widener all that often this season. It's normally been Cooper Harris behind the dish for Widener, so maybe getting a little used to him.
Off speed has Barry fishing for strike 2.
That curveball's really on this Philippines national team out in front. They're really not seeing that well, especially the left-handed hitters. Last 2 outs have been via the slow roller, the strikeout from that off speed.
Slow contact as Widener lets out a grunt to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Off speed this time. Barry doesn't offer. The count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a good one if you're ahead in the count. The 1-2, 0-2 ones, I think Barry would chase that. But 2-2, he's got a little bit shorter of a zone. Not that competitive of a pitch. You want to throw that one for a strike.
Here's the payoff. Off speed. Barry could not hold up, so Widener ends the inning via the strikeout. But the Filipino national team scores 2 runs in the 3rd inning. They still trail 10-3.
Left on base.
Welcome you back to sunny Pasadena, California, where the Saints are on top of the Filipino national team 10-3. They'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints. But first, we take a look at the game between the Conejo Oaks and the Orange County Riptide. The Oaks are putting a little rally together. They've now cut the deficit to 4 runs, as it's 10-6. It's the bottom of the 8th, so last 6 outs for the Oaks to do some damage and hopefully keep the Arroyo Seco Saints playoff hopes alive and intact.
A win for the Riptide would really put the Saints in a really tough position.
It'd be a game and a half back if the Riptide are able to hold on. The off-speed pitch is in there for a called strike against Matt Marlowe, a cleanup hitter today. Starting at third base, we've seen how good defensively he is. Today he's reached twice in a single and hit by pitch. Gets under that one and pops it up into the infield. A few players converging for the Philippines, but it's ultimately the third baseman, Berlu, who makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
First time? Or actually, no, sorry. I think Holt was retired. Oh, no, I am missing. It's the first time leadoff hitter for the Saints have been retired. You know, still a lot of game left here for the Philippines national team, especially pay big dividends to throw up a 0 here. Got Mohonda coming up to the dish here.
Yes, it's Jared Mohonda starting in left field. Big cut and a miss. Attacks the first pitch. Francis Gesmundo came in last inning. after Jaden Ranieri struggled on the bump. No balls, 1 strike to Mohonda. Mohonda takes 1-1 now.
Mohonda's doubled his hits this season in his first 2 at-bats of the game today. Be another great addition to the outfield. As mentioned, would make that outfield depth chart just be that much closer. Seems like everyone we bring in for the outfield has played really well this season.
Two one is fouled. 2-2.
Better timing there on the fastball, just out in front. See if Gizmundo goes to a slider or a changeup here to get that swing and a miss from Mohonda.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. It's in the dirt. Make it 3-2. So the count now full.
Yeah, you did go to the off speed there, but that's something you really want to throw for a strike. Once again, another off speed pitch that would have been good 0-2, 1-2, but when you're even in the count or you're behind, you really want to throw all of your pitches for strikes, not try to get the hitter to chase.
Mohonda calls time. The payoff. It's fouled off. We'll do it again. Home half of the 3rd inning. Saints on top. The Philippines 10-3. Second batter of the inning is Mohonda. Here's another payoff pitch. Driven foul.
Out in front of that one, a little off the end of the bat. He's turned on a couple fastballs this at bat. If you're Gizmundo, you want to throw the off-speed pitch, but you're having trouble locating it this at bat, and Mohonda's done a really good job taking those back foot sliders.
This time he times it up and dumps it into right field for a 1-out single. Mohonda's 3rd hit of the game.
Now that just goes back to, the inability to locate on the off-speed pitch. When pitchers get to 3-2, you go to the pitch that you trust will get the hitter out, and Mohonda, or sorry, not Mohonda, but Gizmundo not believing he could throw that off-speed pitch for a strike, and Mohonda, you saw the one he yanked down the line, the second to last pitch, the one he just was a little out in front of, and that one timed up perfectly for a 1-out hit.
Max Blessinger takes an off-speed pitch for a strike. Max, the only guy yet to reach in the Saints lineup. Granted, it's only the 3rd inning. It's been an offensive explosion for the Saints thus far.
Yeah, they really capitalized on the mistakes from the Philippines.
Max trying to get in on the action.
Now, his last at bat, he did hit the ball fairly hard for the fly out to right field, so you want to see that again as a hitter. All you want to do is hit something, line drives.
There's a pitch in there for a strike, 0-2. Riptide and Oaks are now in the 9th inning. It's 10-6 in favor of the Riptide still. The final 3 outs for the Oaks once it gets to the bottom half of the inning. Scoreboard watching season. That pitch is in the dirt. Mohonda stays put. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Max Blessinger.
Yeah, and the Oaks have already clinched a spot in the playoffs, so they may not be thinking of this game as the biggest urgency to get those runs. You'd want them to if you're an Arroyo Seco Saints fan. It was a 1-1 game. Then the Riptide scored 9 unanswered runs. It was 10-1 at one point. The Oaks were starting to fight back, but time's running out for them.
Of course, the Foresters lead the CCL South Division, but they do go to their own tournament as the 2-2 is swung on and missed. Strike 3, Max Blessinger, he's 0 for 3 so far.
Number 8.
Yeah, the tournament that
Sanchez.
the Foresters go to, the National Baseball Congress, the They won last year.
Yeah.
They were champions of that.
Back-to-back champions, actually.
Yeah, Forrester's team, they are got a lot of talent.
They're forced to be reckoned with. Always a premier team in the CCL.
I gotta say, when we play them, they're one of the most fun teams to watch take batting practice, especially at their field. You know, it's a
Yeah.
really small field out there in Santa Barbara, and doesn't take much to knock one out. Remembering the game we did, game that technically still isn't finished, but lots of home runs in that game.
Lots of craziness in that ball game. Snapback throw over to first, corralled by Mariano. Else that ball would have ended up in right field.
Really want to see Jacob Sanchez keep this inning alive for the big power bat of Jake Fredrickson on deck. We saw him get his first hit of the season.
Yeah, more to come, I'm sure.
Trying to earn himself a permanent spot.
Wouldn't see why. It's 3-0 the count on Jacob Sanchez with the runner on first and 2 away.
Looks like that may be Drew Zittle up in the bullpen right now for the Saints. Vino Rosales no longer up. Could just be bullpens for the pitchers. Maybe roll the box.
Yeah, it's going to be ruled a balk, so Mohonda's able to advance to second.
You know, what I'd want to do, what I'd want to see right there from Jacob Sanchez is, you know, even though it was called a balk, he could still swing at that, and then it'd be up to the Saints, you know, say he gets a hit, they could choose that to happen.
Off speed in there for a strike.
3-0 breaking ball right there.
Sanchez takes back-to-back pitches, and now the count is now full. So full count, 2 outs.
Do have the open base. If you're Gizmundo, don't have to throw your best pitch, but trailing by 7.
Sanchez gets a piece. Keep the at-bat alive. And we'll do the payoff again.
It's the off-speed pitch that Sanchez got his hit on last at-bat. However, he seemed a little fooled from it. He was way out in front of it, off the end of the bat, just enough to dump into left field.
Off speed. Looks like it got a piece of Sanchez, so he'll take first base. And that brings up the scary hitter, Jake Fredrickson.
Yeah, it doesn't get much easier here with the big bat of Jake Fredrickson. He's bopping to that.
Yeah, the big bopper.
Bopping to his walk-up music here.
He had the big time rushed his first time up, you know.
I wanted to see that one again. I really like that. Now this is big spot right here for Fredrickson. Couple runners on, couple outs. Want to produce here.
Takes fastball down the middle for strike 1. Having mercy on the pitcher. 0-1 the count. 2 strikes, 2 runners on. Another strike, but a generous call.
Yeah, Fredrickson didn't really like that one. Shaking his head a little. He'll get back in.
Last time there were 2 strikes from Fredrickson, he was hit by a pitch.
Also got a hit with 2 strikes his last at-bat.
And that one's driven into right field, and it's caught on the line by Compomizzi to end the inning. But, boy, did he get a lot of barrel on it.
He sure did.
That'll end the inning. Scoreline remains 10-3 in favor of the Saints. We head to the top of the 4th. You're listening to the Arroyo Seco Saints Media Network on YouTube. Top of the fourth, about to get on. New pitcher in for the Arroyo Seco Saints, Steve, and it'll be Drew Zillow taking them up.
As Zittle, big Z for the Saints. He's been very consistent out of the pen. He's going to come in with a favorable 7-run lead here. Biggest thing, just pound strikes. Get your stuff working, get those pitches on. We saw Gavino Rosales warming up earlier, then he was set down, then Zittle came up, and he's the new pitcher here.
Yeah, and he'll face Keola Viloria. First pitch taken for a ball outside, so ball one. Viloria today, he walked and stole a base. Second at bat of the evening. Here's the 1-0 taken down, ball two. And the Riptide and Oaks are now in the bottom of the ninth. So last 3 outs for the Oaks. They're down 10-6. Definitely keep you guys updated on that as the fastball's in there for a called strike. 2-1 the count.
Crazier things have happened. No 4-run deficit.
Whoa. Michael Maloney on for the to end the game. Yeah.
Looks like for the Riptide, Matthew Maloney coming into pitch. He's their stud ace, .28 ERA on the season, but this just shows a must-win game for the Riptide.
Off speed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, so Drew Zittle strikes out the first batter he faces this evening. And as you mentioned, just going back, Maloney taking the bump. Not even a safe situation, but as you mentioned, a must-win game for the Riptide. And Maloney actually leads the league in strikeouts.
Yeah, only 3 ahead of the Saints' own Christopher Stamos. He's taking some hacks on the on-deck circle over here.
That's almost a presence in the dugout and also on this team as a whole. It's now A.J. Parcero. So 1 down in the bottom of the ninth between the Riptide and the Oaks, and 1 down here in the top of the fourth. 0-2 hole now is Parcero. He fouls one off himself.
Yeah, it's going to be quite an adjustment here for the Philippines, especially early on versus Drew Zittle, who throwing out a completely different arm slot than Jacob Widener. Even though they're both lefties, Zittle much more over the top, doesn't have those funky motions.
0-2 pitch. Caught on and missed, so back-to-back Ks to start the evening for Drew Zittle, and that was actually a foul tip into the mid of Sanchez.
It looked like he took something off that, maybe a little change up here. Zittle looking strong early on.
Making quick work of these Philippine hitters. First pitch attacking is Mitch Kurtz, and it's fouled out of play. Mitch Kurtz, excuse me. Looks like he's tying his shoe. Pitch poured in there for a strike.
Good reception right there from Jacob Sanchez. That one looked a little low. He stole that one.
Sanchez getting the start behind the plate today. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Zittle. He strikes out the side in order. Drew Zittle making his presence known here in the exhibition match. Saints still on top of the Filipino national team, 10-3 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth inning. And it looks like Matt Wong is in to coach first base, Steven.
It looks like his teammate, Hawaii teammate, Kyson Donahue is over at third, so Saints pulling out all the stops right now.
The two studs that are typically make up the heart of the order for the Arroyo Seco Saints are now the first and third base coaches.
Both battling out also for team lead in home runs, doubles, RBI. They're tied right now in home runs. Wong's up leading by 3 in RBI after picking up a couple last night.
Yeah, and it's 9-1 and 2 due up for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Artem Biagian takes a breaking ball that narrowly misses to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. It's in a 10-3 ball game, bottom of the fourth inning. Francis Gesmundo is on the bump after he came in relief.
Yeah, both Gesmundo and Ranieri missed arm side a lot inside to right-handed hitters. We've seen that a couple of Saints hitters been hit by pitches.
Three won the count. Fastball down the middle to run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Looks like Biagin was taking all the way there.
And score update, the Oaks have scored in the bottom of the 9th off a ringing triple to make it 10-7. As Biagin fouls one off himself.
Very closely watching that one.
So 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Oaks has scored 1 and now have a runner on third. Maloney, the ace, is in for the save, but he slipped off the mound, so we don't know if he's dealing with an injury.
He's still in.
He's still in the ball game, nonetheless. Biagin takes a close pitch, but it's ball 4. So leadoff walk for the number 9 hitter. Now the lineup flips over for Dylan Johnson.
Second time Biagin has walked back-to-back plate appearances. That turns the lineup over. Dylan Johnson's been on it all 3 times today. Good to see him back out there after, you mentioned he was limping off the field after the second inning.
Yeah, he might have tweaked an ankle or something running off the field. We don't want to speculate, but looks to be healthy and back in the lineup. That ball skips away, allowing Biagin to advance to second on the wild pitch.
A good read right there from Biagin. Took off before it even got away from Parcero there.
Off-speed pitch. It's Dylan Johnson swinging and fouling the pitch off.
Riptide made 6 errors today. OC made 6 errors in their game right now, and they're still winning. Philippines made 5. Yeah. Oh, you have them at 5? I'm at 4. I have to change it.
That pitch skips in there, ball 2.
I remember there being a fit there.
It was DJ's double to right center, and then the right fielder botched it. I gave him a double with 2 RBIs, and the third
Runner on second as Johnson fouls off another pitch. 2-2.
Looks like he fouled that one off of his front leg there, not having any elbow guard or leg guard protection right now.
The Oaks scored yet again to make it 10-8. And now the tying run will come to the plate with only 1 out in the bottom of the 9th as Johnson sends that one into left field, and it's sinking and off the leg of Valoria. So Biagin will come around to score as Dylan Johnson is on first. So that'll be an RBI single for Dylan Johnson to make the score 11-3.
Great send right there from our third base coach, Kyson Donahue, pushing the issue right there. Saints continuing to hit. Everything they're putting in play is finding holes.
An RBI for Dylan Johnson. That's the 4th time he's reached today. 2 singles and an error back in the second.
Really smart right there from Peyton Hull. He tried calling time. He didn't get it. And then he started stepping out of the box, but he stayed in. If he did, that's an automatic strike no matter where Gizmundo puts it.
That ball is shot to the shortstop, flipped over to second, on to first in time. So 6-4-3 double play.
Great turn right there by Barry and Soberano up the middle. Barry bobbled it a little, but really good turn from Soberano. Quick hands, quick transfer.
Philippines is 3.
So the Oaks have scored yet again, and now they are within 1 run and only 1 out as Drew Cali is up to bat.
Under the first baseman's glove, RBI.
The Riptide have committed 6 errors. I believe that was their 7th.
Oh.
The ball went under the glove of the first baseman as the scoreline now reads 10-9. The Oaks are within 1 run, and they now have the winning run at the plate.
And remembering Conejo on Sunday had a big comeback unfortunately, against the Saints here.
Right.
5-run comeback to win 7-6.
2 balls, no strikes. That ball is skied into right field by Drew Cali, going back into this Compasani, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. So when we come back, we'll keep you updated on the Riptide and Oaks game. Now, obviously, this game, as the Saints tack on another run, it's 11-3.
The Saints with
Top of the 5th inning, and checking in on the Riptide and Oaks game, the Oaks have the tying run on third with only 1 out. Just a reminder, heading into the bottom of the 9th, this game was 10-6. The Oaks have rallied for 3 runs. And it's Drew Zittle in for another inning of work. He worked a 1-2-3 inning, actually struck out the side in order. And if he didn't throw those first 2 balls, it would have been an immaculate ending.
Yeah, for sure. Really efficient ending to his outing.
Oh, the infield's in. God, just put the ball in play.
It's 0 for 2. Excuse me, 0-2 the count. It's a full count to Raul Sandoval on the Riptide Oaks game. The runner on third. The infield is actually in for the Riptide. The 0-2 pitch from Drew Zittle. It's a little dribbler. He fields it cleanly. Throws on to first in time for the first out. It looks like the Riptide are down to their final out. The runner on third and Jack Brooks up to the plate. Excuse me, the Oaks are up to their final out.
Really good job there from Drew Zittle getting off the mound. Lefties, it's always more difficult, those PFPs, because you have to turn around to throw instead of, right-handed pitchers that can just face first base.
Top of the order for the Philippines, it's Thade Miller, who attacked the first pitch and doubled back in the third.
Still getting set.
The 0-1 pitch from Zittel is popped up into center field. No problem for Dylan Johnson as he settles under it. So Drew Zittel has retired the first 5 batters he's faced in order, Stephen.
Yeah, and last 8 overall Philippines hitters have been retired going back to that 3rd inning for Jacob Widener. This
Brings
Riptide
up-
game really close.
Yeah, we're all watching it. But that brings up Kyle Baraloo, excuse me. Drew Zittel making quick work of these Philippines hitters. So here we are in the 5th inning. Pitch upstairs. 3-0 the count now.
2-0, sorry.
Excuse me, 2-0, yes. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That one shot to the left side. Diving play made by Biaggi to end the inning. So Drew Zittel has retired the first 6 hitters he's faced in order. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Saints on top, 11-3. Oh. Matt Marlowe leading off for the Arroyo Seco Saints, and the Riptide somehow survive a 9th inning crumble and beat the Oaks by a score of 10-9. So that does not bode well for the Arroyo Seco Saints' playoff hopes. Nonetheless, still trying to take care of business here in the exhibition game and hopefully win out, Stephen.
Yeah, for sure. The Saints, that just makes tomorrow that much more important. You know, in their mind, they're not focused on that Riptide score. They're focused on today, trying to have fun. It's Fred Day,
Yeah.
as you've seen across our social media.
If you haven't, go check out our social media.
They're really on it today. I saw between the breaks one of our tweets, the Fredrick Saints.
Everything all about Fred today, our very own journalism team. Sean Brennan and Jackson Crawford taking care of those social media handles as an off-speed pitch is in there for strike 3. Matt Marlowe disagrees with the call.
One thing I don't like about delayed strike umpires is even though they're strike 3s, they're delayed, which, whenever you see a delayed called strike, a delayed called 3rd strike, it shows that it may show that they're unsure of the call.
Right.
It was a last-second decision, and it just makes it look worse.
Right, and as a umpire, referee, you always want to stay confident in your call no matter what sport you're handling. Still 1 out for Jared Mohonda. Take strike 1.
Honda having himself a night. 3 for 3, 3 singles. I get a 4-hit night. First multi-hit game of the season.
Big swing and a miss from Mohonda.
picked up his first hit of the night or of the season.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 11-3 ball game in the home half of the 5th. Mohonda takes in the dirt. A 2-1 pitch from Hizmundo. Fouled straight back. Excuse me. Scoreboard changed. The scoreboard read 2-1, but I believe the count is now 1-2. Yes, 1-2. Off-speed chop foul, so we'll do the 1-2 pitch again.
Mohonda staying alive here. We saw his last at-bat worked an 8-pitch at-bat, resulting in a single.
Jared Mohonda doing it all today. That's fouled off himself, so another really elongated at-bat for Mohonda.
One's going to sting a little.
Yeah.
Got those shins. Another Saints player without leg guard protection.
Or gloves, right? You mentioned no batting gloves on for Mohonda.
Take a hit. Change the board.
So yet another foul ball by Mohonda. He's working up there, Steven.
Yeah, really staying alive. We saw Gizmundo mostly pounding the fastball. It's been mostly off speed today. Changeups, seen a couple sliders.
That ball's drilled but foul. So Mohonda really on this pitcher, Hizmundo.
Long strike right there. Little out in front of that one. He got all of that just a little early.
Wow.
That's a loud strike right there.
At least that's what you'll tell yourself if you're on the mound. Is here's another 1-2 pitch. This time it's shot up the middle, but gloved by Hizmundo, so he ultimately wins the battle. And there's 2 down in the 5th.
1-3, the out from
Another long at bat, nonetheless, from Mohonda right there. So first time the first 2 hitters have been sent out for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Last inning was the first time their leadoff hitter had been sent out. Or sorry, not last inning, the 3rd inning, their first time.
That brings up Max Blessinger, still searching for his first hit of the evening. He's grounded out, lined out, and struck out. Attacks the first pitch, and it pays dividends as he shoots it into left field for a 2-out single. So the Saints have yet to go down in order in this ball game.
Really good job right there from Bless hopping on that first pitch. He's starting to get in a groove there as you see Fred taking that really good job getting that on deck bat right there.
Fred, the ultimate team player, really keeps the dugout and clubhouse tight-knit. Does it all for this Saints team, both offensively and also off the field.
And defensively, can't forget
Oh,
about
yeah, obviously.
Gold Glove caliber defense over there at first.
Yet to commit an error in this ball game.
Seen him stretch a lot.
His highlight reel is really filling up, especially just in this ball game. 1-0 pitch. Jacob Sanchez takes a breaking ball that lands in there. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Jacob Sanchez. He drills that one into left field.
Another
but
long
it's
strike
foul,
right there.
Yeah. So Mohonda and Sanchez back-to-back long strikes.
You know, there's 2 types of mentalities you can have as a pitcher after serving up one like that to Mohonda and Jacob Sanchez. It's, oh, I got away with one. But the better mentality is to think, that just is another long strike. It's still just a strike as if you just swung and miss at the ball, and I'm going to get you out with this pitch.
A great stop by Parcero behind the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on first for Sanchez. A very dangerous hitter, Jake Fredrickson, looms on deck. You want to get out of this inning if you're Gesmundo. And he won't, as Jacob Sanchez serves one into left field. So back-to-back singles for the Saints with 2 outs. And that brings up Jake Fredrickson.
Good piece right there from Sanchez. Timed it up well, and now big bat and Jake Fredrickson coming up to the dish.
Very dangerous hitter. Has reached twice, lined out into right field, but got all of the ball. His last time up, that was back in the 3rd inning.
It's Fred Day today here in Pasadena.
Getting his first start of the season. Really unsure why, given the caliber player he is. Takes the first pitch low and away for ball 1.
You know, some may speculate they're saving him for the right time. They didn't want to really unleash a player that truly is unfair to pitch against.
Right, absolutely. It's a 5-tool player. We've seen the speed on display, the defense, the offense. As that one's shot into right field yet again, but it'll hang up for Campo Mizzi to make the catch and end the inning. But he's pieced the last 2 balls into right field.
Yeah, you know, and some days it's just the baseball gods are against you. They got to make it fair here. You know, Fred, they got to take some away from Jake right there.
So that's the end of the inning. We head to the 6th, and the Saints still on top. The Philippines 11-3. Zittel has faced the minimum so far in his 2 innings of work, and he's looked extremely well on the bump, Steven.
Yeah, and even the end, Jacob Widener's start retiring the last 3 batters he faced. Zittel's picking up right where Widener left off. Now 9 straight Philippines hitters retired here.
You'll have to face the heart of the order, 3, 4, and 5. Kyle Soberano, Jose Mariano, and Ryan Berry. First pitch misses low and in for ball 1. Drew Zittel's been a solid lefty for the Saints this entire season.
Got a couple good, 3 good lefties out of the pen.
That ball is skied into straightaway center field. Johnson raging back. He's out of room, and it'll hop over the wall for a ground rule double.
First hit allowed. Base runner allowed for Drew Zittel, and first overall base runner for the Philippines national team since the 3rd inning. That was a single from Kyle Baraloo. But like I was saying, 3 really solid lefties for the Saints out of the pen between Zittel, Stamos, and Dom Dorado out of the bullpen. They're really reliable arms that you could go to.
Dom Dorado shut it down last night. Got the save.
And a ball nailed him, and then later that inning almost had another one hit him.
Right. And Caleb Reyes got nailed by a comebacker earlier in the ball game, so Saints pitchers really had it out for them. Those balls were very much attracted to the Saints pitchers. So 0-1 the count to the cleanup hitter, Jose Mariano. Yet to reach today. The ball misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. That was Kyle Soberano's first hit of the ball game. Driven to dead center field. The 1-1 delivery from Drew Zittle. Up and away.
Looks like Logan Deskin up for the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Saints up by 8 in the top of the 6th inning. Big swing and a whisk by Jose. To even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Zittle really want to attack the zone here. Would rather give up hits than walks. Want to make these hitters earn it.
See what Zittle goes to. The 2-2 offering. Off speed. Flicked into right field. Coming in on it is Blessinger. He dives and it skips away from him. So the runner at second base, Kyle Soberano, had to wait to see. That'll be ruled a hit. And now the Philippines have them cornered in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, unlucky right there. Great pitch from Drew Zittle. Caught Mariano way out in front off the end of the bat. And we know how good of a defender Bless is out in right. And, if he can't get it, probably no one can out in right field. He just knows this field so well, especially out there in right. Dylan Johnson in center today.
So that brings up the 5-hitter Ryan Berry, but that goes back to what you were saying, Steven, where the hitters have to earn it, rather a lucky hit by Jose Mariano. It's going to be a pinch hitter.
It's Aragorn De Vera here.
Number 6 hitter. Excuse me, the number 5 hitter. The runner's cornered. That ball shot, but caught on a rope by Biagian for the first out of the inning.
Biagian has really fielded his position well, going back last inning to end the 5th inning, made a diving play to make to end the 5th innings.
Number 28, Drew De Vera.
So it's number 28, Drew De Vera. Philippines coach pulling all the strings, trying to get a lot of people into this ball game, given that it's an exhibition.
Haven't seen the Saints do that, especially on the offensive side. We've seen a couple pitchers today. Do have a couple guys that, everyday starters that are out. Guys in Donahue, Matt Wong, Cooper Harris, taking day off, getting a little rest on their feet.
The 2 De Veras batting back-to-back. It's a swing and a miss to make the count 0-2.
That changeup really working on that. Great action right there, downward away from De Vera.
0-2 the count. Runners on 1st and 3rd in the top of the 6th. The Saints comfortable lead, 11-3. Breaking ball catches the plate, and De Vera sat down on 3 pitches. So after allowing back-to-back hits, Drew Zittle is really locked in and K'd the last 2 hitters. Well, not the last hitter, but the last hitter. Induced weak contact.
Yeah, overall, as a team, the Philippines have struggled seeing the ball right there early on. Looks like this is number 25, Jorge Romero here, the 2-way. Interesting, both a catcher and a pitcher.
Wow. Typically see that transition happen, right? Somebody like Kenley Jansen, who was a catcher, and as he worked his way up to the majors, became a closing pitcher. Given just the arm that they possess behind the plate, makes that transition a bit easier.
And you see the arm slot that Kenley Jansen throws out of.
Right, you can see it derives from his days as a catcher.
Very short arm slot, not the biggest arm swing as a pitcher.
It's Romero Takes that pitch away. 1-1.
Jake Fredrickson doing a great job over first base, holding on. Jose Mariano, not letting him get too big of a lead.
Just can't say enough about Jake Fredrickson. Provides so much value to this team.
Every team would want a Jake Fredrickson on their side of the dugout.
All right, we're happy to have him here. Pasadena with the Saints. To really advocate just for a camera to stick on Jake Fredrickson like they had the Zion cam back at Duke.
And I think also there's a Shohei Ohtani cam for viewers in Japan.
That ball is skied in the infield. We'll see who settles under it. It's ultimately Biagian to end the inning. So after back-to-back hits for the Philippines, Drew Zittel strands them. And the scoreline remains 11-3 in favor of your Arroyo Seco Saints.
2 hits and 2 runners left on.
Hey there, CCL fans. The 2022 CCL State Championship presented by Firestone Walker Brewing Company is coming to California's Central Coast next week. The state championship will be hosted in San Luis Obispo, California at Sinchimar Park, August 4th through the 6th. Tickets are available online and at the gate for purchase. For more information, visit calsummerball.com and be sure to follow all of the CCL State Championship action on social media using the hashtag CCLBaseball.
Thank you so much for that, Stephen. We'll be sure to tune in, and we hope that we are there with these Arroyo Seco Saints. And it's a new arm in for the Philippine national team. It's Troy Cruz, and seeing him warming up, Stephen, it looks like he has a lot of velocity behind that arm.
Yeah, he does, and especially how the windup moves a lot. It's going to be really hard, especially for right-handed hitters, to pick the ball up quick out of the hands. He hides it really well.
Speaking of right-handed hitters, it will be one Artin Biagian, who's made some great defensive plays over at shortstop today. And at the dish, he is 0 for 1, but he's walked each of his last 2 at-bats. There's a fastball pumped in there for strike 1.
And Troy Cruz only standing listed at 5'8", 165. He really does have that power arm.
Here's the 0-1 delivery. You can hear him grunt as he comes to the plate.
You see pitchers do that a lot more right now, especially they do that. So even when they throw that changeup, that slider, it'll really throw hitters off.
The 0-2 delivery from Troy Cruz. Caught on and missed, strike 3. So good morning, good afternoon, good night. Artin Biagian retired on 3 pitches, completely fooled 2 fastballs, and then pulled the string on him there. So.
Yeah, went with the slider and still with that grunt. That could really throw hitters off. They hear that grunt, they're going to think heat here. Now that as the lineup turns over with Dylan Johnson, 5th at-bat of the night, still just in the 6th inning. Game's picking up pace a lot more.
Yeah, right on schedule, typically about an hour every 3 innings. A fastball in there for a strike.
Especially, you know, Francis Gazmundo, when he first came in that second inning, struggled a little bit, but then really settled down. Only allowed 1 earned run in his outing today.
All the arms out of the bullpen have been effective on both sides. So quickly, down 0-2 Dylan Johnson. 5 pitches, 5 strikes from the arm of Troy Cruz.
He's more than halfway to that immaculate inning. We've not seen one live before. Not only at the stadium, but even on TV. Haven't seen one. You know, I've seen the highlights, but haven't seen one in an actual game.
See 0-2. Oh, that's in the dirt. We jinxed it. So
Really?
1 ball, 2 strikes.
You really can hear that grunt. You know, we're about 100 or so feet away from Troy Cruz, but we can hear that loud and clear even with these headsets on.
All right.
You could even pick it up watching it at home.
It's chopped to the left side. Glove cleaning by Barilou. On over to first. But 2 up and 2 down. Troy Cruz. It's really cruising through this inning, Steven.
A great use of the pun right there. But, yeah, like you said, a couple quick outs right there for Troy Cruz. Philippines are going to want to throw up zeros if they want a chance this inning. Dylan Johnson really jogged, didn't run too hard down the line. May still, you know, you mentioned that second inning, was limping off the field. It may still be bothering him right now. We want him, you know, as Saints fans, we really want him on the field.
Peyton Holt attacks the first pitch and fouls it straight back. Just as you were mentioning, Steven, looked to be walking slowly off. Didn't really make it to the bullpen, or excuse me, not the bullpen, the dugout until right now. So we hope he's okay. Peyton Holt grounded out into a double play last time he was up.
Something Cruz.
Troy Cruz looking amazing out of the pen. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. That ball's left upstairs for ball 2.
Or his stats.
Got to really be on time here with Cruz's fastball.
That one shot to the right side. But Soberano gloves it on over to first in a 1-2-3 inning with a man out of UCSD, Troy Cruz. We head to the 7th. Your Saints are on top of the Filipino national team 11-3. New arm deployed by head coach Aaron Milam, and it's Logan Deskin, a man out of the bullpen for the Arroyo Seco Saints, and he's into work the 7th inning.
Yeah, Deskin is gonna trying to pound the zone. He's had a little issues with the control so far in the CCL season.
Fires in a high fastball that the number 8 hitter chases. It's a pinch hitter, actually. It's number 30, Luke Ochoa. So 2 pitches, 2 strikes on Luke Ochoa.
4th pinch hitter used by Bill Pickett's.
Logan set just above the belt. The 0-2 misses. 1-2.
Here, Logan grunting his own on his own right there. Trying to match what Troy Cruz did, who researched a little. Troy Cruz, a professional, played independent ball this past season in New Jersey.
But pitch fouled straight back. He actually, you mentioned, Steven, went to UCSD between 2013 and 2017.
Threw 2 shutouts there in his freshman and sophomore year as well.
28 years old, now playing for the Filipino national team.
These Saints are used to playing guys their age. You know, Cruz about 6 years senior.
Cut on and missed, strike 3, so Deskin starts off his evening extremely well. One hitter faced a strikeout.
Yeah, really efficient right there. Pounding the zone. It's like it's going to be another pinch hitter used. Number 33, A.J. Angel. That's a hard one to say.
So A.J. Angel coming in the 9th slot. One ball, no strikes to A.J. Angel.
Well, this game got off to a pretty slow start. It was about an hour through the first inning and a half, 2 innings of the game. We're just 2 hours in, and we're already in the 7th inning.
That pitch in the dirt. 2-0 the count. Deskin threw a clean inning last time he was out on the bump. Really turned his season around after a bumpy start.
One of the most friendly guys on this Arroyo Seco Saints roster. Always looking to chat, especially with the players, the coaches, the interns, everyone. He's, you know, at the end of the day, they're just, you know, kids playing baseball here.
America's pastime.
Except I think our first baseman, Jake Fredrickson, man amongst boys right there.
Yeah. That pitch is high, ball 3, or excuse me, that's a 4-pitch walk after Deskin retired Ochoa. So it'll be Thade Miller.
Here is number 15, Thade Miller.
Leadoff hitter as the lineup flips over. Here in the 7th inning, the Saints are leading the Filipino national team 11-3. 1 out, 1 runner on. It's the leadoff hitter, Mr. Miller.
Miller's 1 for 2 tonight. Double and a walk. Also flew out. His double came in the 3rd inning. First pitch swinging off Jacob Widener. He scored both times also he's been on. He's scored 2 of the 3 runs for the Philippines, doing what a leadoff should do.
Top of the order, doing all of the damage for the Philippines. Deskin has fired in 6 consecutive balls.
And not getting the close ones right there. You know, you struggle to find the zone. The ump is not going to help you out. You're going to have to find your way back to throwing strikes.
Pitch fouled off. So you just want to say thank you to our producer today, Anthony Vasquez, doing all the producing today. So all the graphics, the overlays you see, that's thanks to him. 2-1. Left upstairs, ball 3.
Also, our producer Anthony Vasquez sets up a camera every time we're here in Pasadena. Risks his own bodily injury getting up on top of the fence out there in left center field.
Oh, he doesn't have any insurance.
Doesn't have any insurance. He hijacks a golf cart. He brings out a ladder, and he goes to work. And he tells us sometimes it's the highlight of his day going out there.
Yeah, taking a little joyride with the golf cart. Been on a few times. It's a fun ride.
He sometimes goes out there also during batting practice, so really risking his life out there.
Putting it all on the line for the Arroyo Seco Saints. That's how you run a nonprofit.
That's what you want in a producer.
Caught on and missed, strike three. Thade Miller down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So Deskin's 2 outs have come via the strikeout.
Yeah, for sure. He's really pounding his zone. A ball is yet to be put in play this inning.
Number 4,
Kyle Barrelou.
Kyle Barrelou, the third baseman, has a couple of hits today. The only guy on this Philippines side with multiple hits. Also has a stolen base attached to his name. Came around to score back in the third inning.
Deskin pounding the zone. He's looking a lot better these past few starts than he did in the beginning of the season. Really filling up the strike zone. That's what you want out of the bullpen. That's what really plagued this Arroyo Seco team, though their offense has been inconsistent.
Big swing and a miss after Logan just pounding that fastball right and around the zone. See Sanchez catching these pitchers well today. Have to commend him as well. Not usually the starting catcher. That belongs to Cooper Harris, but the way Sanchez swings the bat, always want him in the lineup. But here's the 0-2 from Deskin. It's fouled off.
And going back to Jacob Sanchez, not even a catcher by trade. He went the opposite route. Normally it's catcher converted to first baseman. Jacob Sanchez, a first baseman converted to catcher. Remember talking to him in our interview out in Santa Barbara, which he later came into that game, I remember.
Yeah.
But talked about, it can be difficult. Especially, once you get up in those levels, you really have to lock your stuff in.
Caught on and missed, so Logan Deskin strikes out the side. And all these arms deployed by head coach Aaron Milam have been doing well for the Saints as we're cruising right along here in Pasadena, California. We head to the home half of the 7th. The Saints on top 11-3. Bottom of the 7th inning underway in Pasadena, California. It'll be Drew Cali 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Saints. Drew Cali has really pieced a few balls today.
Yeah, for sure. He did it. First at bat, hard ground ball over to third baseman. It was bobbled, and he, of course, hit that solo shot back in the second to lead off the inning.
Still the same arm, Troy Cruz. What a matchup this is. Troy Cruz, a guy who played independent ball, and Drew Cali, a guy who's expected to be drafted in next year. Really surprising he didn't get drafted this year after the year he had with Oregon. It's the 0-1 off. That pitch misses away.
He'll have that extra year of eligibility due to the COVID-plagued season of 2020. Super seniors, as they're called. You know, those 6-year, 5-year seniors that are getting that extra year. He's going to try to use up that season to improve that draft stock.
1-1 pitch misses away. 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know, Cowley's approach at the plate is exactly like the type of person he is. Really calm, cool, and collected. He's not the most emotional guy on the field. He's really concentrated at the plate, always looking for that one pitch. Now 3-1.
Yes, 3-1. That ball is sent high into center field, going back on it, nearly losing track of it, and he does his Miller as that ball gets all the way to the wall. And Drew Cowley
leadoff double.
has himself a double. We'll see the ruling as it stands now. It's double.
Error? Huh?
Nonetheless, Drew Cowley will stand on second base.
Yeah, we'll wait for the ruling of that one. My vision was kind of blocked from a pole I have in front of me right now, but I think that maybe ruled an error, though he didn't touch it. He should be a catchable one. We'll see how they do rule that, though.
That pitch narrowly misses by Troy Cruz. It's Matt Marlowe, the cleanup hitter today. The runner on second base, Troy Cruz. There was a fastball that Marlowe fouls off.
So it was ruled a double right there for Drew Cowley.
Here's the 1-1. That pitch taken outside, ball 2. Runner on second, no outs. Cleanup hitter at the plate. Fastball in there to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That little front door slider, it looks like and catcher Romero wasn't set up there for a slider. Set up there on the outer half. So Cruz gets away with one right there.
That pitch misses. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count is now full.
Trying to strand Drew Cowley on base here.
That pitch is drilled high and deep to left center field, but it'll stay in the ballpark for the first out of the inning. And Drew Cowley stays put at second.
Yeah, Marlowe just missed that one right there. Put a decent swing on it, but didn't get the good part of the barrel to knock that one into the gap. Now Jared Mohonda will come up, who retired for the first time his last at-bat.
It's Jared Mohonda, 3 singles on the day.
On 3 pitches minimum in all 3 at-bats, including 15 combined pitches in his last 2.
It is Troy Cruz. You know, I think he's really implementing something that we do here at the Saints, which is leave things better than you found it, right? Troy Cruz out of the bullpen is really shoving so far.
As we mentioned, this Saints squad getting close to the final game of their season. throughout the season, we really, have tried our best to unearth Saints stories here through those in-game interviews, through, the post-game, everything that our interns do through post-game interviews, the articles written about the game, just everyone, all hands together here.
It's all hands on deck here with the Saints, and similar to the team, the interns, all the staff members really crushed the process throughout the duration of the summer. And you can't say enough about the hard work that each and every single one of us put in to keep this boat and steam rolling. It's an off-speed pitch that catches the outside corner for strike 3, and Mohonda sat down on strikes. That's the second out of the inning.
A really good backdoor slider right there to catch Mohonda looking. Looks like that's going to be it right there for Troy Cruz, though.
Yeah, so Troy Cruz has really done well for this Filipino national team. And it'll be a new arm deployed. When we come back, we'll have our third member of the crew join us here in the booth, Anthony Vasquez. Okay.
Attention California Collegiate League fans. The 22-22 CCL State Championship presented by Firestone Walker Brewing Company is coming to California's Central Coast. For more information, visit calsummerball.com and be sure to follow all of the CCL State Championship action on social media using the elegant hashtag of CCL Baseball.
New arm in for the Filipino national team, Ramsey Romano.
Also, new voice in the
new
broadcast.
Where is this coming from? I don't know.
It's Anthony Vasquez. Second color, guys. Max Schlesinger shoots it to the left side. It's gloved cleanly, fired over to first, and what a pick at first by Mariano. And that ends the inning. So a runner stranded for the Saints. We head to the 8th inning. It's 11-3 in favor of your Arroyo Seco Saints. We welcome you back to Pasadena, California. The Arroyo Seco Saints are taking on the Philippines national team, and they are currently leading by a score of 11-3. I'm Ryan Matatiga, joined by Stephen Hogenkamp and Anthony Vasquez.
Can't forget about Anthony.
You can't.
Anthony, an avid Filipino baseball watcher. Anthony, what have you noticed so far in this ball game?
I really like the way this Philippines team is battling it out. They have some very good hitters on their team, very nice fielders as well. And that pitcher, what was his name?
Troy Cruz.
Troy
You
Cruz?
should know. I
He
mean,
was pumping 95, man. It looked really nice.
A very lively arm by Troy Cruz, and gave them some quality innings.
Troy's about the same stature as me, and he throws about a good 30 miles per hour faster than I can. And if I ever tried to get up there, I'd definitely blow my arm.
Ryan was pumping fastballs in the outfield earlier. It looked pretty good.
Anthony and I were playing catch before this game a few hours prior, and my arm started to hurt after a few
Well, that's why you were one-hopping me then, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was trying to get that bullpen in, but I had a little miscommunication with when I was supposed to show up.
We got you next time, Steve.
Got to get that bullpen in.
Logan Deskin in the 1-1 count. Fires a fastball, misses high.
Now, Anthony, it's your first time on for today. How you liking Jake Fredrickson over there at first?
Jake Fredrickson's not only taking over first base, he's taking over the Instagram right now. Check the Arroyo Seco Saints Instagram. It's Fred Day.
Even check out that Twitter, all our hashtags, the Freds of Summer.
Yeah, Jake from Rake Farm. It just depends.
Instead, the Saints are hot, Freds are hot here. On Fred Day, should have got a couple banners, I think, to put out in the outfield.
Should have gone all out like we did for the 4th of July. So here's the 3-1 pitch. In their first strike to run the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 11-3, Arroyo Seco lead in the top of the 8th inning.
Really would want to see Fred rocking those shades, though, at night. Those are always a nice vibe.
So here's the payoff from Deskin. Misses away, so a leadoff walk for the number 3 hitter, Kyle Soberano.
Kyle Soberano.
It's not what you want to do here. 6 outs away from capturing this exhibition win. Saints are back to business as usual tomorrow, and the road just got a little tougher with the Riptide hanging on to a victory. We were following that game closely, almost as closely as we were watching this one.
First pitch misses
yes, he
high.
did. Oh.
They go. They say he did not, and you mentioned just a few games left, and this is a short 2-month season, and it's an experience designed to help everybody move forward, especially these players, and to help them advance their careers.
Looks like Harold Boyce in the bullpen.
HB.
I had to double check with Anthony on who's one. I still cannot tell that that's Harold Boyce.
I thought you were looking at me. I was going to say, you want an autograph or something?
Yeah, I can't. Without that mullet, I keep on thinking it's a new player we've just acquired.
Now, speaking of autographs, back in Orange County, a little kid actually came up to you, Stephen, and asked for an autograph.
Yeah, I was very caught off guard because it was the first game I had done all season. And we were walking to the bus, and the kid comes up and he asked for an autograph, and I was very caught off guard. I didn't sign it because I'm not the professional athlete, and I turned around and there was Carson McKinney right behind me. I was like, "Look, this is the player you would want," and they didn't hesitate. They passed me.
That ball is drilled into deep right center field. Going back on it is Johnson. It's at the warning track, and it is caught for the first out of the top of the 8th inning.
Actually, it looks like that's Bless out in center.
But that ball was thrown away. That'll allow Soberano to advance to second. And, yes, it is Blessinger out in center field.
Looks like Bless in center. Mohonda still in left, still trying to
Back up to the plate for team
see who that's out in right field. However, I'm still a couple feet away from telling Anthony to get off the broadcast. A couple base runners would reach, and you might think he's bad luck.
Bad luck. Quick shout out though, Jose Mariano. I was watching him in batting practice. The last hitter for the Philippines. He was launching balls to left center field with authority. I really like the way he's been hitting tonight.
Jose Mariano, the cleanup hitter. Blessinger made that really good catch out in center field, and he's really maximizing his time with the Arroyo Seco Saints, not standing around, really moving to the ball. Really made some really good in-game adjustments just so he can make some defensive plays.
You know, just standing around, that does not play in the real world, especially in the game of baseball. Always got to be moving around.
Amen.
Do you know some really good players have come through this Arroyo Seco Saints team? Some guys that are in the MLB, even just interns that have made it to the NFL, NBA, Fox Sports, ABC, CBS, Pac-12, just to name a few.
What's your dream job, Ryan?
I mean, I would be fine with any one of those, honestly, and I think I pride myself on taking initiative as a part of the Arroyo Seco Saints.
You got to have that big thing as a broadcaster.
That ball's chopped to the left
Oh,
side,
wow.
and it'll go foul. So the count will remain 1-2.
Really battling here is Aragon Devera. The brothers back to back with the Devera brothers.
Tavera.
Didn't Big Z strike him out?
Yeah. He got the Drew Devera, not Aragon. He got him to line out to Martin Biagian.
Off speed in there.
Nasty.
Called strike 3 for the second out of the inning. That's been Logan Deskin's best pitch.
Yeah, that one really froze him right there. He's going to go back to the dugout thinking he really, Deskin kind of got away with that. That looked a little hung on an 0-2.
Really?
On a
I
1-2
thought the
pitch.
pitch was dirtier than my shoes. It looked nice.
You know,
Yeah, your shoes are a little dirty, Anthony.
that brings up the other Devera brother. First pitch, strike. And something we mentioned, it's Fred Day, and all of our posts on Instagram have been extremely descriptive of the game action and really adding Fred. Now we mentioned his university is at the University of San Francisco getting his master's in sports management.
Go Dons.
And we really want to commend our journalism team as they've researched the handles of all of the players and really implemented them into their in-game posts. Right, we mentioned Jackson Crawford is on Instagram today, and Sean Brennan is manning the Twitter.
Yeah, they're really on their game today. I had to be told by Jackson. He was saying, hey, check out our Instagram.
Swinging strike 3. Sanchez has to pick it
Oh,
up, fire
climb the
out to
ladder.
first, and they're going
Oh.
to say Fred came off the bag.
That is Jake Fredrickson at first. You have to give that to him.
Right.
Man.
He looked like a gymnast over there at first base.
You do not call a play against Jake Fredrickson right there.
You know-
I thought he at least got one leg on the bag.
No, I mean, they said he came off the bag. I think he stayed
Right.
on. But I honestly think that Devera beat the throw.
It'll be Jorge Romero up to bat with the runner's cornered and 2 outs.
I thought the umpires wanted to get out of here.
Yeah,
They're
that's what
calling
I
people
thought.
safe.
That's an 11-3 game here in the 8th inning.
Big
Ooh.
swing and a miss for strike 1.
Bayou.
Hello.
Got some. You get the fire department over here. We got some steam and gas coming off of Logan Deskin's arm right now.
0-1 the count. 2 runners on, 2 outs in the 8th inning. That pitch misses away for ball 1.
It's very cool to see how much Logan Deskin gets on his fastball because out of the stretch he doesn't rear back as much, and he still has the velo that you see even out of the windup.
1-1. Big swing and a miss. Deceptive pitch. We're on the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think our arms would fall off if we threw that hard. For being honest,
I think if we combined all 3 of our
I
velocities,
like
it'd
that.
be slow.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'd be throwing like 120.
Oh yeah.
60s from everybody.
It wouldn't have the control, but it'd have the velo. That's
all
what
that matters.
plays.
Yeah. 1-2. Slapped. The second baseman flipped on over to Biagian to end the inning. So Logan Deskin works around. A runner's corner jam. We head to the home half of the 8th where the Saints are still up 11-3.
Fred Day.
Bottom 8, the Arroyo Seco Saints on top of the Filipino national team, 11-3, 7, 8, and 9 due up. For the Saints, it's Jacob Sanchez, the greatest hitter ever to live, Jake Fredrickson, and the number 9 hitter, Artine Biagian. First, it'll be Jacob Sanchez, who has the pleasure of hitting in front of Jake. Lucky to be patted by him.
That's right. Big protection in the lineup right there.
Yeah,
Jake Fredrickson right behind you.
Yeah, Sanchez knows he's going to get pitches thrown in the zone. They do not want to face Jake Fredrickson with runners on.
Sanchez has taken full advantage of that as he has 3 singles in this ball game. Takes the first pitch that misses. Still Ramsey Romano, who only had to deal 2 pitches to get out of last inning's jam. Saints haven't scored in some time. Can add on a few runs as catcher's unable to glove it cleanly. So 2 balls and no strikes.
You said they haven't scored. You know, they've scored 1 run since that second inning. They dropped a 10 spot in the first 2. One of those RBI coming off the bat of Jake Fredrickson. Really surprising of him.
Oh.
Sanchez gets under it. Skied into left center field.
Oh,
and
it
that
dropped.
ball gets down. So Jacob Sanchez will stand on first base, and it's a leadoff single, and this Saints offense really emulating the great words of Sherry Huber. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Could not have said it better myself.
And now that brings up Jake Fredrickson. Great left-handed bat on Fred Day, right? Really celebrating
Happy
his
Fred
presence.
Day, July 27th. Mark this in history.
Yeah, you know you're a great athlete when you're known by just one name, Fred. And that's not even your given name.
Already has a nickname attached to his athletic prowess, Jake Fredrickson. In a 1-0 count, you can tell these pitchers are scared to face him. Really working around him, but he's gotten a few pitches to barrel up. That fastball misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
How many hits does he have today?
He's got 1, but he's been robbed.
He's been robbed,
Yeah, the baseball gods have robbed him today. Both Mizzy out and right, and also AJ Angel.
Runner goes. Fredrickson takes a strike. The throw not in time, so Jacob Sanchez has himself a stolen base.
How about that?
He's been doing it all for the Saints.
Yeah, Mariano wasn't holding him on, and that just makes the situation even more difficult because you already know Fred's going to put a great swing on the ball.
Right fielder's not ready.
Another RBI situation. That pitch misses up, so 3 balls and 1 strike. Really scared to face Fred.
Yeah, he got hit his first at-bat. It shows the respect that they're a little afraid of Fred. Even hit him on a 1-2 pitch. Fouled off a couple balls, and they said, hey, this guy's locked in.
That pitch skied in
my
the
goodness.
infield. That's a major league pop-up if I've ever seen one. That pitch ultimately corralled by the first baseman, Mariano.
Now, if you're Fred, you got to give them something.
Right.
You know, he's hit the ball hard every time he's been up. You got to give them that weak contact. We hope Fred can get another at-bat, but if not, what a day for Fred Day here. National Fred Day here in Pasadena.
I don't think he'll get an at-bat. I'll be willing to bet that.
I mean, we sent up 20 or 19 batters in the first 2 innings, so anything's possible here. It is Fred Day.
So that brings up Artine Biagian, who has fielded his position extremely well.
Steven, Philippines comes back, I'll walk home. Just going to put that on the table right now.
See, that's not as bad of a thing as if I'm walking, because it's a 40-mile walk for me. It's actually don't know exactly how far. I'll hold you to that.
I'll be okay with that.
I'll go to that Saints dugout and I'll tell them, hey.
Are you gonna go out
You
there and
didn't
pitch
say
then?
you didn't say that they have to win. You just said that they have to come back.
They come back.
That means
8
time to score.
runs.
Anything's possible. We saw the Riptide almost blew that 9-run
That's right.
lead. So
Fair.
I just really do not like these delayed
1 ball.
umpire strike
Yeah,
calls.
right?
2 strikes.
It feels like as if it disrupts the pace just a little bit. It doesn't feel.
I think it had suspense to it. You know, it was like, oh, wow, that was a good pitch. Where did that miss? Oh, it's a strike after all.
That ball is grounded foul, and You mentioned that Riptide game out in Conejo. Right, the forecast for that one was 83 degrees with a high UV index. You know, sometimes when you travel to Conejo, you want to bring sunscreen or even a Saints boonie hat if you guys have one.
I want a boonie hat.
Yeah, of course you can get your Saints merch. Obviously support the Saints here. Jackie Robinson Field.
Never heard it called a boonie hat.
I thought it was a bucket hat.
Swing and a miss. Drop third strike. They're going to have to throw over to first, which they do to complete the strikeout. That flips the lineup over. Looks like it'll be a pinch hitter.
It's gonna be Jack Walker.
Jack
Got the
Walker.
wrong walk-up song.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna channel his inner DJ here and
Man, maybe got a base hit like him.
get lots of speed.
Now, you guys mentioned comeback. You guys never want to be comfortable with the lead because they do say comfort is the enemy of progress.
Is that P.T. Barnum?
Yeah, that is P.T. Barnum.
The good old PT.
Yeah.
Shout out PT.
Man, you are just you're
PTV.
on it with the quotes
I
today,
am.
Ryan.
I don't
I
know
don't know where you're finding
Yeah.
these.
I wouldn't know either.
Ryan the philosopher out here. I love it.
No, we have a few philosophers on this team, right? The
Bless.
question of the day was, do aliens exist?
Well, according to Chris Stamos, Jacob Widener himself is an alien. He even
You
said
said
himself.
no.
I said
Steven,
no.
You said no.
I got a little pressured with the question. I'll admit. I got a little pressured with the question,
They cornered
and
Steven.
one gets away. It looks like
Yeah.
Sanchez.
Sanchez is gonna
Ooh,
advance to
Sanchez.
third.
Oh, go home.
That ball is booted into left field, but shortstop backing him up.
On the wild pitch right there. So we mentioned how Walker is, in the limited opportunities had this season, and with the injury of Dylan Johnson, he really filled that role well. He's hit very well.
And that's strike three. So that'll end the inning. Saints still haven't scored in quite a while. We head to the ninth. Last three outs, an opportunity for the Filipino national team. New arm in for the Arroyo Seco Saints. It's Harold Boyce. Boys, what do you think of Harold Boyce?
I like him.
Yeah.
Harold Boyce. I mean, how many shutout innings did he throw in Irvine? 2 or 3,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, trying to pick up that stride here, end this game, get us to the taco truck.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's actually not a taco truck
Really?
today. It's the LA Gals Kitchen.
Yeah,
So
follow
shout
them
out.
on
Really, what do they make?
You saw the Instagram.
They make a multitude of things, so
They
I
have
think
food.
they're going to be surprised.
Food? Okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna have
food.
food.
They're gonna
They
have
have
Food. I'm
They
down
have
for
food.
that.
The bare minimum.
Yeah, this game's really picked up the pace.
Yeah.
We mentioned about an hour through the first 2 innings in the last 6.5. In just about an hour, 45, hour, 50
Yeah,
minutes.
Saints have been tossing up bricks ever since they scored
Yeah.
10 runs.
Speaking of bricks, the home plate umpire actually just rushed a meeting between Harold Boyce and Jacob
He wants to
Sanchez.
go home.
And I have a little bit of advice for the home plate umpire. I just want to tell him, don't go so fast through life that someone has to throw a brick at you to wake up.
Is that Mike Bianco?
How did you know
Is
that?
Mike-
That's Mike Bianco.
Yeah, I read the emails.
Yeah.
Luke Ochoa up to bat.
So, first pitch strike, and Harold Boyce fires in a
Ooh,
fastball
brush
that
back.
misses. Yeah. Hello.
I want to ask Harold Boyce the decision making that went into cutting the flow.
It's a big move.
Yeah.
For
It
anyone who
is.
has to cut a flow, it's a big decision.
It's a bold move. That one's chopped foul up and over
Yeah,
the Saints dugout.
I don't know the specific day he did it, but was it not? Did he do it because of the 5-game losing streak we had earlier?
No, trying to change
I think it was
up.
a little after that one because I remember I had a chat with Caleb Reyes down in Slow, and he said that his pick for favorite hitter is Harold Boyce, but
Not anymore.
Yeah.
can't be. Caleb Reyes has got some nice flow to him as
Oh,
well.
he does. Here's a 2-2 from Harold Boyce to Ochoa.
Oh,
Off speed, caught looking, strike
Disrespectful.
3. So 1 out, and now the
Strikeout.
Philippines are down to their final 2 outs.
That was nasty right there. That should be illegal in 8 countries.
And, Ryan, as a Philippines baseball analyst,
Right.
2 outs for the Philippines is too many.
Right.
If you're Harold Boyce, keep pounding the zone.
Hey, but you're the one that did state that if they do come back, you're going to walk home.
Well, no, doesn't mean I want to do that, though.
To strike 1 on the number 9 hitter, A.J. Angel. He came in as a pinch hitter. Actually worked a walk back in the 7th inning.
Oh, yes, he did.
Completely fooled on that pitch. Half-hearted swing. He did go around.
Harold's really feeling himself in this inning.
HB.
The 0-2 from Harold Boyce.
Goodbye.
Fastball by him. Strike 3 called.
We got Picasso on the mound
Yeah.
right now. He's really painting
It's
corners.
absolutely painting Harold Boyce.
It's like a
You a big art guy?
pinch hitter. Big art. Unfortunately, I'm not.
Same here. I don't get why people pay for that.
I don't.
Maybe I'm not rich, but
I don't understand the art of today. I think the art from more past, like Picasso's time, is. I mean, abstract art I'm a little confused still on, but like art from a couple hundred years ago, I think is much more eye-catching.
nowadays you can just tape a banana to a cardboard and just call it art.
Everything's
You're a
art.
millionaire.
This is Paulo Macasayet up to bat.
Good name right there.
Sayet. It's in a 1-1 count. You mentioned this deficit that the Philippines are attempting to come back to. Only 1 out left. You know what they say about challenges is that they're what make life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful.
You just used a Joshua J. Marine quote,
You
didn't
guys
you?
are on it today with these names, man.
Can't get us by. Can't get it by us, man.
Yeah. But you know what?
I can get by
Yeah,
you.
that
I
could
could
buy you
that
that
ball's
house
nasty.
pitch. 2-2 count with 2
Hey,
outs.
Steven, I don't know if you read the fine print in our bet, but if the Saints do hang on, you have to walk.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
You did sign it, though, so.
Yeah, I saw you guys shake hands. Here's a 2-2 from Harold Boyce. Fastball misses outside, run the count full, and they looks like our scoreboard.
Scoreboard.
thought
Oh,
that
the
that would've been
scoreboard
strike
just
3.
called the game right there.
He
So-
thought Harold Boyce was gonna throw
Yeah.
a strike right there.
The scoreboard guy wants to go home, too.
Here's a payoff from Boyce. Chopper to the right side. Glove cleanly on over to first, and that ends the game. So the Saints win this exhibition game by a score of 11-3. Final thoughts.
Second baseman.
Great game. We scored more runs. That's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Jake Fredrickson for the MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Heisman
CCL
Trophy,
player.
and Golden Spikes. Great job by Fred.
I think you got to give him the presidency as well.
the President's Purple Medal of Freedom, whatever it's called, give him everything. Give him the key to the city.
So, and to catch the post-game interview with Jake Fredrickson, check out our Saints on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So for Ryan Madrigal, We are saying so long from Jackie Robinson Field. I had the pleasure to be joined by Stephen Hogenkamp and Anthony Vasquez, where the Saints take home the exhibition victory by a score of 11-3. This has been a presentation of the Arroyo Seco Saints Media Network on YouTube.